Yo, yo, yo! Back in the place to be on the 1-2s.
Hi, guys.
Thank you guys for joining us. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hurry up and hit that click, like, and subscribe button before it gets away from you.
Right.
And if you don't know, now you know. I'm your lovely host and podcast director. My name is Dupree. This is my lovely wife and co-host,
Sonia.
Thank you guys for joining us again. Today, we want to bring to you our beginning portion of our relationship.
Right.
Sonia and I have been together now for 14 years.
Right.
And 9 of those 14 years, we've been married. And it's been great. It's been ups and downs. It's been learning curves.
Yeah. It's not all glitters and rainbows.
It's not all glitters and rainbows. But it is a lot of glitter, though. We just want to give you guys with some of our experiences and share some stories with you guys and kind of go through just the beginning part of our relationship.
Right.
And ask a couple questions, some feel-good questions. I have some stuff written down that I forgot. And so now I'm going to have to freestyle this.
Yeah, we're pretty much, listen, we're new to the podcast thing here, so it's a lot of tech going on.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So we pretty much look like we know what we're doing.
We really, no, I don't even think we look like we know what we're doing.
We'll get it eventually. We're just happy to be at this point right here.
So this is something that I wanted to do, and she was very supportive of it, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
So one of the things I wanted to talk tonight about was in the beginning part of our relationship, when we first met, was it lust or was it, did you fall in love with me right away?
Wow.
Or was it love at first sight?
Okay, so let's just be honest. We're gonna keep it real. You know, when I first saw Dupree, we were fresh out of high school, both looking good, skinny.
Ooh.
Couple abs.
Wait a minute now. I'm still kind of skinny now. Don't.
You gotta stop.
I said kind of.
We were young, 18, having fun.
Right.
And when I first saw Dupree, I was like, okay, he's handsome.
Right.
You know.
Was it love at first sight though?
No.
Oh.
No.
Whoa, guys.
It was not love at first sight, and I don't think it is for everybody.
No.
And do I believe in love at first sight? No, not really. Maybe some couples do, and that's okay. To each their own. I think for Dupree and I, it was lust. Well, for me, I'll let Dupree speak for himself.
For me, it was definitely lust for me. I'm gonna keep it real with you.
Exactly.
You know, Sonia is definitely one of the most beautiful people I've ever laid eyes on. Oh, boo. Go ahead. Go ahead, boo. But I was trying to pound.
Say, oh my gosh.
Keeping it a buck with you.
You could have put it out there like that?
Keeping it a buck with you, boo.
Oh my gosh.
Seen her in these little nursing scrubs back in school.
Scrubs. Ooh.
And I said, ooh, boo. Go ahead, boo. Go ahead, boo.
Oh my gosh, she was a mess.
Go ahead, boo.
He tried so hard to get the digits to talk to me and walk with me in the halls. Honey.
So, you know, when we first met, one of my college roommates was dating one of her high school friends. And I was like, yo, what's up with your friend? Like, put me down. Let me get let me get the number or whatever. And she picked me off for a little bit. And once we finally connected, that was all she wrote.
Once we connected and started hanging out, you know, we had a couple parties, or he had a few parties at
I used to throw
house.
these parties just to get her to come over to the house.
Right. So we would eventually go over with my friends and hang out and dance and talk and sit outside. And, you know, you do what you do when you're 18.
Right. And at what point was, like, love taking over, or did, like, lust take over?
Now, if we fast forward
to
2 years later, you know, we found out we were pregnant. Through those 2 years, you learn to, or you grow to love. You grow with that person. You learn all about them. And when we found out we were pregnant, I think that was the point where it was like, oh my gosh, like, I could be this man's wife one day.
Okay.
You know, I'm about to have his baby. Like, our whole world is about to change.
Yeah. Let's see. I fell in love honestly when you was giving birth. I seen you give birth to our first son.
Mm-hmm.
That changed me. Like I knew, I didn't know what love was, so I didn't necessarily know like if we were in love or not in the beginning of the stage, in the beginning portion of our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I just knew that like I wanted this feeling to be forever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I've seen you. The doctor gave handed him to me.
Right.
And I like loved him, but I was like kissing on you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I think I fell in love. At that point, that was like captivating.
It was a turning point right
Oh
there.
my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was an emotional moment. I think that's what it was. Like
Yes.
emotions took over.
Yes.
Just gave birth to our first son, and it was like, oh my gosh, like
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe my woman just did that.
Yeah, it was
It's
crazy. But like you was like so calm, so chill, and I seen you like fight through that. And then Tay had the umbilical cord wrapped around his neck, so the doctor like stop pushing, and you like held on and
just like
chill
mode.
It was such a. It was such a like, oh my gosh, it was crazy.
It's so funny because that's just my personality, just to be calm and be very mellow.
Yeah, and Sonya remained so calm in that moment, and made me calm.
Right.
Because I remember like looking at this like, oh my gosh, like going through this like, oh my man, I'm about to be a father.
And being so young.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
So we were 19, 20 years old having a child, and we didn't necessarily know where our future was going to be. We didn't have like a bad relationship, but we were young and we didn't know what the heck we wanted to do.
Right. We were very young. We were 19 when we found out we were pregnant.
Yeah.
20 when we finally had Tay.
Yeah.
And, being young, fresh out of school.
Oh my gosh. So
trying to figure out life in general.
Yeah.
And then you throw a baby in the world and it's like, oh my gosh, now what?
Yeah. I lived with roommates up until I was like 19, then I got my own spot.
Yeah.
And Sonya was over like pretty much every weekend.
Had my own key, honey.
I gave her a key. Might have been the worst thing that I could have done. Might have been.
And now look, 14 years later.
She was coming over here. She would be doing my laundry. I would come home. She'd just be having all laundry done.
Laundry, dinner.
I'm like, what is you doing here?
It wasn't nothing fancy, but I was cooking for you.
Chicken nuggets.
Listen, we all got a starting point,
we was
okay?
eating dino nuggets before we had kids.
Stop. Judge me not, okay?
But I would come home and she would be, doing laundry, doing like all my cooking, cleaning, and stuff like that. And I really appreciated that. And growing up with my grandmother, I was spoiled, so I was used to that. So it made me feel like I was at home, and I think that's what made us that's what made us become so comfortable with each other.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
in general, I think my personality is just a nurturer. Like I just want to take care of you.
Yeah. So let's dive into that part right there of you being a nurturer, right? Yeah. I think you are naturally a nurturer, right? You like how I said that? Naturally a nurturer.
It flowed very well.
It did, right? It's like I've been doing this for a long time. So, Sonya grew up in a household where she had both of her parents.
Right.
And I loved that and appreciated that. And I wanted that. Like, I didn't grow up in a household where I had both of my parents together. Both of my parents split when I was at a younger age. So, I knew, and see, this is about to sound so cliche for a man to say, but I knew when I became an adult, like, I wanted to get married and have kids. Crazy for a man to say, but I was in touch with my feelings because I grew up around women. My grandmother, my mother, my sisters. But I knew early on, like, I didn't want my kids to have to struggle the way I struggled.
Right. You wanted to work hard.
Yeah.
As hard as possible.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. I didn't necessarily have like a bunch of examples of that growing up, but I did have people that I looked up to and admired. And getting to know Sonya and meeting Sonya and recognize that she had a stable background. She was like very easygoing, and she had a bright future, and I've seen that in her at a young age.
I come from a Hispanic Catholic background, you know. Only child, so my parents worked super hard their whole lives, working, you know, all the time to make sure that I was taken care of and was put into private school from kindergarten all the way up through high school.
Right.
Helped me with college.
Now, again, let's go back. Her parents were working parents. They started at humble beginnings as well.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, they made sure that the stock that they was growing was going to be something more than what they anticipated. Look at her now.
Yeah, my parents and my family, you know, we are a huge tight-knit family.
Very tight.
You know, listen, if you're Hispanic and you know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely, absolutely. And in the beginning, that was crazy for me because they were so nurturing and so caring and wanted to see us grow into, you know,
an amazing couple.
Yeah.
But Dupree wasn't used to that.
No, was not used to that.
He wasn't used to having people, you know, and I don't want to say like all up in our business, but, you know, I would tell my family everything.
Yeah.
From the arguments that we had, from whatever happened with, you know, our son, like, and he would be like, why?
Yeah.
Why does anyone need to know our business?
Look, listen, y'all know how my grandma is old school. And she used to tell me, and I still tell my kids to this day, whatever goes on in this house, don't you say nothing about nothing outside of this house, outside these walls.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It doesn't even have to be anything bad, but Dupree's like, don't say nothing.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be bad, but don't you say you keep your business.
Our business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's so funny.
Yeah. So that was like new to me, and I had to like learn and understand that her family was sincerely trying to love us and be a part of our lives.
One of the best for us.
One of the best for us. Right.
Yeah, and it was just we come from completely different backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he grew up in Newark, New Jersey, Coatesville, Pennsylvania, where I'm from. You know, Lancaster County, growing up in suburbs, and I used to call it Cowtown growing up because that's all we had. So it was just completely different worlds trying to combine, and that's one reason we always we had to fight to learn about each other because it was rough in the beginning.
Sonya is extremely book smart, and I'm extremely street smart. Like I've seen things that as a child that I like made me grow up faster. Mm-hmm. And so her maturity level was way higher than mine, but like I always felt like, you know, she was there to help me to like calm down and trust more people because I didn't trust no one.
Right.
You know what I mean? And she helped, and I helped her see like there's you can't trust everyone.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's
more to life than what's in your little bubble, Sonia, and you need to come out of it.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that he's really taught me. When we first met, and you know, we met 15 years ago or whatever that was. So it was like, you know, he taught me it's okay to be strong. It's okay to be independent. It's okay to say hi to people. It's okay to come out of your shell. So, you know, that's truly appreciated because I feel like, you know, I wouldn't be the person I am today if it wasn't for him pushing me just a little bit more.
Absolutely. It's because she was so nurturing. I always felt like you was super nice. I was like, you're too nice to people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And she has this like almost now it's not like that, but because she has like bad vision, you know.
Oh.
She used to think
and I don't have my glasses on now, of course.
Still don't have her glasses on. I just told her to put her glasses on and come downstairs. But she had like this crazy bad vision, so when people would come up to us or like wave from afar, I'm like, such and such just waved at us. Make sure you wave back. I don't even see him, but she was.
No.
You know.
If you're waving at me and we're at a gas station or in a grocery store and you're waving, I'll probably be like.
Right.
Because I'm like, I could see you waving, but I don't know who you are.
She can't see.
No. So I'm not being rude. I waved at you.
That was the only part of like people used to think she was like mean and rude or whatever. Because
like your wife is so rude. She didn't even say hi to me.
Yeah.
Didn't even like acknowledge me. I'm like, I don't even remember seeing her.
Right. It's crazy. But other than that, I mean, she was definitely like and still one of the nicest persons that I know. You know, people that I know. So. All right, so in the beginning, it was definitely lust.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Definitely lust.
And then we fell in love. I guess you could say we fell in love around the same time.
Right.
You know?
And it's not like it was an overnight thing. Like I said before, it was a growing process. You know, it took a while for me to understand who he was. And, you know, of course, like I said before, our backgrounds were completely different.
Yeah.
So it was just a whole other, you know, world that I'm stepping into.
Oh my God, yes. Let's just tell one more story, and then we can go into the next topic. But like culturally, you know, we grew up in different backgrounds as well. Obviously, I'm black. She's Latin, Puerto Rican, and I'm used to like our poor meals in the black community, black family, was like chicken and dumplings.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I could still go down with some chicken and dumplings.
Right.
You know what I mean? But in the Latin household, they're like poor meal would be like white rice and fried eggs and
ketchup, yes. Oh, I remember the one time Dupree came home. This was right in the beginning.
Yeah, very, very beginning.
He came home from work and was like, what are you making? I'm not eating that. It was literally a pot of white rice.
Right.
Fried eggs on the side.
Yes.
With the ketchup out, some juice.
Yeah.
We're good to go.
I didn't want it. I said, where's my meat? I need the meat. Something.
Listen.
You know what I mean?
Listen. My Latino people know what I'm talking about. A little bit of ketchup, some fried eggs. Top that on with the white rice.
Oh my God, that was crazy.
We don't do that much anymore though.
No. We should. So, we lived in my like bachelor pad.
Yeah.
For like almost a year we lived there, right? And she was like, we got to find our own place together. This is your space. I moved in, but this is your space.
Right. It was the best. It was, you know, when he was single, having fun with his friends.
I was living my best life.
Exactly. So, this is why we had to move out. It's exactly why we found a little townhome to call our own.
Right.
Because I didn't want to be in his bachelor pad.
She didn't want to be in the bachelor pad. I had that thing set up nice, too.
Yeah.
Had the leather couches with the drapes.
Curtains to match.
I thought I was doing it, didn't I?
You did. You were. He was doing good for himself.
Oh, God. So we got out of there, and we found this little townhome where we said that this is going to be our first, like, little home together.
Right,
you know? And we
brought
make it together.
Tay home to that
Brought
little
Tay
townhouse.
home. Yeah, brought Tay home in there. One of the, like, tensions in that apartment was, one of the first ones that I remember was the fish tank.
Oh my God, that fish tank. Oh, I could have killed him over a fish tank.
The fish tank started many arguments in that household.
Oh my gosh, our communication was so off.
It was horrible.
And that just made it so much worse.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
When we moved into the apartment and we were supposed to like, we had an idea of what we were going to do with our furniture.
Yeah, when we moved into the townhouse.
We moved into the townhouse, I'm sorry. We had an idea of what we were going to do with the furniture. And behind like the living room area was like a little nook where we were going to put Tay's bassinet.
Right.
And I said, yeah, that's a great idea. And then like a week later, I came home with this huge fish tank. Huge fish tank.
You guys have no idea how bad I wanted to just put it down his throat.
I thought I was Tommy from Belly.
Exactly. That's the issue.
I had these fish, these tropical saltwater fish. It was beautiful in there.
We were in that townhouse for probably like 2-3 years.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 years, yeah.
Every Saturday morning, it was me cleaning by myself.
I wouldn't say every Saturday.
Cleaning dead fish.
Probably like the first 3.
Cleaning glass.
Probably like the first 3 weekends I cleaned it.
Exactly. Exactly. That's the problem right there.
The excitement was still there. But that started a lot of the arguments because...
That was a prime example of our miscommunication.
Yes, because I was not supposed to...
Or not communicating at all.
Right. I was not supposed to buy that. She was like, why did you buy this fish tank? We were supposed to put the bassinet there. That's where Tay was going to spend his time while we're in the living room.
Yeah, not just that, but like we could have put that money towards diapers or milk or whatever, you know? It's just led up to way more than it needed to.
It led up to... And that was... a lot of it. And back to what she was saying, she was cleaning it. So every time she cleaned it, it would start an argument like, why am I cleaning this fish tank?
Right, wasting my day cleaning your fish tank. I don't want.
Crazy.
So our communication was just the worst.
It was horrible.
In the beginning.
In the beginning it was bad. We didn't know how to communicate with each other. Again, I didn't know how to love. So moving with Sonia, she definitely, helped me learn how to love, and because I didn't see that growing up, and she was a prime example of seeing, of coming from both parents in the household,
right,
nurturing, so I had to learn how to love her,
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I know that was hard.
That was definitely hard for me.
Because he wasn't used to that.
No.
Not used to that.
No. Like, communication, what's that? Like, I'm calling you to say I'm not coming home because I'm going to the club. That's communication.
Right, yeah. So when he was 21, he was out in his motorcycle.
Oh, I had his motorcycle too. That was another thing.
Living life.
Right.
And
she was home with the kid.
Right, with the kid.
Right. Well, here's the thing. Here's another thing, right? Sonia never wanted to go out.
Oh, no, I'm a homebody.
Never wanted to go out.
No.
So that was like, and people used to say, like, why is she not, like,
she doesn't want to come out. Where's
she at? Where's your girl at?
Yeah.
It was like, where's your girl at? I'm like, yo, she home.
Do you even got a girlfriend?
Right. You know what I mean? I say, huh, come on, let's go out. No, I ain't going out. You know what I mean?
Go by yourself.
We went out a couple times, but that wasn't our scene.
It wasn't often.
That we went out together.
Right.
You know?
And it's so funny because now that we're like in our early 30s, we're like, oh, let's go out. Let's go get a drink.
Let's go. We'll turn it up. It's like one of my 2019 resolutions was to communicate better with my family. And that's 14 years later. We're still trying to communicate. Learn how to communicate.
We're not perfect in people. It's so funny because people come up to us sometimes or when we're sitting around at a cookout and be like, how you guys do it? You guys seem to have it all together.
Yeah, but we
and
don't.
it's like, you guys see what you see on Facebook, like a picture or two or a video. And
people only post what they want to post.
Right.
Only post the good stuff.
We have our troubles just like everybody else does. You know, our mini arguments, our tips, days that we don't even want to talk to each other.
I'd like to tell people that Sonia keeps ammo in her back pocket.
Ooh, I do.
I verbally say what I need to say right away. If I got something to say, I'm going to say it. Sonia, she holds on to it, right? And then they pull it out. Bang, 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 bang.
He doesn't have a filter over here at all.
No,
but me, you want to start an argument with me? Okay, that's fine.
She let it take.
But I'll let it soak in and then I'll come back to you later on and be like, do you remember this?
It's like a good chicken bake.
Give me 10 hours. Let me sleep on it. Let me sleep on it. And then I'll go crazy. I'll call you or text you like, why did you say that?
Right. After 24 hours. You know how that good chicken bake is? It's been in the refrigerator.
And he's like, what are you talking about, Sonia?
I don't want to talk to you.
I don't remember the argument.
Right. I don't want to talk to you. Like, I get on the phone and she's like riffing. I'll call you back.
Yeah, I gotta go to work. Oh, and that makes me so mad. Like, you can see smoke. Listen, we have our days.
We definitely have our days. And we've definitely gotten better because the communication, as we said earlier, was not the greatest. I had to learn that, and that's coming from counseling and talking with other people that's older than us, that's been in a relationship longer than us.
Right.
And her aunt, I remember her aunt and uncle coming over and talking with us and was like, yo, what's going on? Can we talk with you guys? Can we help guide you guys? And that was a big help for me because at that point was when I started to realize, like, okay, we're not in this alone.
Right. They just wanted to help.
Yes.
We've always taken any type of guidance and tips and from older couples who we look up to, whether you're married or engaged or just boyfriend and girlfriend for years.
Right.
We've always looked up to quite a few couples in our life.
Right. So communication,
right,
has gotten better now. And okay, so the next part of that was
what do we do
to
keep our marriage going?
Right. Okay. Look how she on point with it. I left my notes. So what do we do?
What do we do to keep our marriage alive and fun and interesting? We could start this off in a whole different light.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God.
But that's for another podcast.
Hey, what?
Moving right along. So I think for us would be, we try to do monthly date nights.
Yes, we do.
So we, ask our family to watch the kids, and we go out like a late date night.
Yeah.
Whether it's a movie, dinner, drinks.
I like to do late date nights, because the kids is already showered, ready for bed. They don't have to like be up in our parents' way.
Right.
So it's always good to do like late date nights, and it's late date nights to us. But when we was younger, 10 o'clock we was just going out anyway.
Right. That was when we was getting dressed.
Right. That's when we was getting dressed.
If I felt like going out.
Right. Right. So we say late date night. Well, that's like 9 o'clock, and we're getting back home at like 12 o'clock, tired, falling asleep,
exhausted.
You know what I mean? So date nights once a month, and we've been frequently doing that.
Yeah, I feel
very frequently.
I feel like it's been a while since we had an actual date night. He says we went out a month ago.
We did.
But we did go to the movies a month ago to watch a little thriller.
We did.
But it was with Tay. So it's like a family date night.
It wasn't necessary.
And we went out to like Chipotle or something for burritos. Like, come on now.
Who doesn't like Chipotle? Who doesn't like Chipotle?
There ain't nothing wrong with Chipotle.
Chipotle's live.
It wasn't a date night.
No.
So we are definitely in need of
We're due.
a night out for drinks or just to chill and watch a movie or something.
Right, we're due for one. And then we recently purchased a camper.
Ooh, yes. And you would know this if you follow our vlog.
Shameless plug.
Our vlog, Stuckman Crew on YouTube. And we also posted on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
We invested in a camper. And this goes back because, you know, we wanted to do something fun. And we wanted to create memories for our kids for years to come.
As I said earlier, Sonia was the only child. Or then maybe you said that. I'm not sure. One of us said it. She was the only child, so she went on vacations every year.
Every summer.
I didn't necessarily come up like that. My vacations came from going to my aunt's house.
Around the corner.
For the whole summer.
So obviously, we grew up very different. You know, my parents both worked.
Right.
And during the summer, I was in summer camps or stayed with family while they still continued to work.
Right.
And every year, my dad always planned a vacation.
Yeah.
Whether it was to a beach. We did Disney one year.
Right.
I went with my grandmother to Hawaii to visit family.
Look at this, Hawaii.
It's so fun. As I grew up and, you know, I became a mother and a wife, I said, we will continue to travel.
So she took me on my first vacation.
Yeah, we were 21.
We were 21. We took me on my first vacation, and I was like, this is crazy. We stayed at the Trump. I'm just playing.
No. Don't start nothing up on here. This is about millennial marriage, lust and love, relationships.
Right. Oh my God.
We're not going political right now.
We had so much fun, and from that point on, Sonia was like, "Yo, we doing this every year.
No matter what.
No matter what, we doing this every year." So, and we've been consistent going on vacations, you know. So, giving our kids that experience of seeing different things and meeting different people,
right?
That's priceless.
Huge.
That's priceless because you, growing up in Newark and Coatesville, we only see our perimeter. You know what I mean? We live in our box. We fight the same people. You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Right.
So when you see and meet different people and like from different
food.
Oh my gosh.
It's so worth it.
It's so worth it. And we went camping last year, and Sonia quickly realized that I like camping, but I don't want to be in a tent.
It was rough. It was cold. It rained. And then nighttime
I like
it rained.
camping, but I'm not sleeping
on the floor.
No. No.
I need a sink to wash my hands. I got to pee at midnight. I'm not walking up the hill to the bathroom.
But I'm not going in a tent no more. She was like, very quickly, like, we need to look into getting a camper.
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, we get a little pop-up. I ain't nothing wrong with that. You know? Nothing wrong with a little pop-up.
Well,
she had a different agenda, had a different plan. You know, so one weekend we went up to Shady Maple RV.
Right, just to look around.
And she like gave me an idea of what she would have been looking at, and I was like, okay, yeah, we want two different pages, totally two different pages here. You know
this is not gonna happen.
This is not what I was. No, we compromised.
Right. We met in the middle.
More of your middle than my middle, but we met somewhere, and we got a hybrid camper where the ends still pop out. We replaced our vacations with the camper.
Correct. So, you know, we tried to do like a beach vacation every year, or we did Arizona one year.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? If we're going to invest in a camper for this year, then that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
That's going to be our vacation, whether we spend a week at the beach with the camper or we travel further with the camper.
Right.
But that's going to be what we're going to be investing in.
We're going to Maine in September.
Right.
And we're going to do some whale watching.
Oh, my God. I'm so excited. I think he's more excited than all of us combined.
Oh, my God. I never...
Whale watching?
Yeah, I never experienced... I mean, listen, it might be it might be small to you guys, but to me, I've never experienced nothing like.
Huge deal.
Yeah, it's a huge deal for me like that. You know what I mean? I'm living my best life. The small things in life keep me happy.
As it should.
Yeah.
Listen, life is way too short.
Way too short.
Live it up while you can.
Sonya definitely loves her small things. She goes to damn Wawa every damn day. I tell her.
Why you gotta bring up my Wawa?
I tell her all the time. I look at the statements. And all of this wow. You go better go camping. That's why I keep telling her.
Okay, let me just intervene.
Go ahead,
because
and then we gotta get back to our topics. Go ahead.
I do Wawa, or I stop at Dunkin' for coffee or something in the morning before heading to work.
Yeah.
And sometimes we both stop and enjoy each other.
When we both together, it's not bad. But when you by yourself, come on now. Come on.
I stop, but let me tell you something. Everybody has their thing that they like to do for themselves. Whether you get manis and petties, whether you go to a cigar lounge every Saturday.
Oh, you trying to call me out?
Whether you go, just in general. Everybody has their thing.
Yeah.
And, everybody's to each their own.
Right.
But for me, my thing is, let me stop on the way, get a little breakfast burrito or a coffee on the way to work, and enjoy my day.
All right, boo. I guess I'm not going to win that.
Honey's like, we went way off topic.
We are. But... no, I definitely appreciate you, keeping it new, keeping it fresh, because, again, I didn't experience this growing up, and I want to continue to give that experience to our kids. I mean, I don't want our kids to know no difference. I want them to come up with both parents in each household.
Correct.
And I want them to, be able to see things that I haven't seen. It's crazy.
The possibilities. The possibilities are endless. And the things that we have yet to see,
yeah.
I feel like the Stuckman crew has done a lot.
Yeah.
We've traveled, so much, and the kids have seen so much, and I don't even think they realize or comprehend yet what they've seen.
Yeah.
And I just feel like there's so much more to come and so much more to see. Yeah. So I cannot wait.
Listen, one of our favorite places, and you guys probably know this already, is DC.
Oh, yeah.
We go there at least 5 or 6 times.
A year.
And it's a... like a 2-hour drive from us, 2.5-hour drive from us. So it's not that far of a distance. So we could do little day trips there, and I love seeing that history there.
It's crazy.
It's so crazy.
There's so much to do.
So much.
And honestly, if we're gonna spend money, you're spending it on what?
Yeah,
food.
drive, gas, and food. That's it.
Gas, food, and then
parking. Parking is extremely expensive in DC.
Parking can be super expensive. So either take the metro.
We park on the street because I ain't having it.
Or just find a little neighborhood.
Yeah.
And just park your big old SUV
We park in the same neighborhood every year. I know that. I mean, every time we go there, they're probably like, "Oh, there's the Dupree and Sonya."
There's the Stuckman crew. They're just parking the beast in our freaking parking lot.
I like to go see the monuments. I like to go see the museums. I like the food. There's so much culture and diversity there.
It's so fun.
Right. So that was, that was something that I can love to do.
Right.
Was traveling. She brought that a part of me. She made that a part of me now.
Oh yeah, we enjoy it. We love it. People think we're insane, and how do you guys do so much stuff, or how do you guys afford to do that? It's honestly, we look for stuff that's affordable or free.
Right.
DC, if you go look on DC and you do some research, we go to everything that is completely
every museum
free.
There is free.
Exactly.
So you get to go see history and beautiful, museums and displays and exhibits for free.
Right. And you don't even need to go into a museum. You just walk.
Yeah.
Just walk around for the day.
Right.
And you're in front of amazing buildings and trees and the cherry blossoms in
the cherry
April.
blossoms. It's crazy.
Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. We go every year, Mother's Day weekend. We leave always on a Friday night. And we usually stay in a hotel.
Right.
But this year,
we're taking our camper.
We're taking our home with us.
Taking her home with us behind the SUV.
I know, so it should be fun.
So that's one of the things that we do to stay in love with each other. We continue to do things for each other. Go out with each other.
Keep it fun.
I read once that you should try to fall in love with your spouse every single day. Now, I know some days you're going to be hard, but try to do it for at least 10 days. And I guarantee that you will continue to fall in love with each other.
Yeah. Did you do it for 10 days, Boo?
I did it for a whole year.
How'd that go? How'd it go?
Try me. I did it for a whole year.
Well, we're still married, so.
We're still married, right? It was tough. I'm being honest with you. I mean, I fall in love every day, but there's obviously days where you're going to be at each other's throat or at disagreements or,
Oh, yeah.
But
that's life.
Yeah, it's life, right?
We definitely had to change.
We had to change.
We had to grow. We had to sit back and understand each other.
Like, one of the differences was, like, church.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that sounds so crazy, but I grew up at a Baptist church, and she grew up in the Catholic church.
Mm-hmm.
And I grew up, like...
Yeah, dancing.
Boom, 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 boom. Bump, 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 bump. Bump, 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 bump.
If you are a Catholic, Hispanic,
bump, bump, bump.
you know that's not how it was.
That tambourine was going.
You know, we're standing, we're sitting, we're kneeling, we're like, oh, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's...
Oh, man.
So it was definitely a transition.
The blood of Christ.
It was just a whole other world for Dupree and something that he had to try to understand.
Now I appreciate it now. But back then, I was so repulsive towards it.
Right.
You know, because I didn't understand. I wanted everything to be my way. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I didn't necessarily give Sonya a chance to say, okay, this is the reason why.
And Dupree was very stubborn.
Oh my gosh.
He still is. But he...
You gonna say I'm stubborn
He's
now?
so stubborn that it was just hard for him to grasp the fact that, you know, it's not just you anymore.
No. Yeah.
It's us, including Tay back then. So
it's one of the reasons why we moved out of the bachelor pad.
Yeah.
It was definitely tough because I had grown to be like about me, you know, because I was super excited about, like, you know, getting my first car or, like, you know, getting my first apartment or, like, buying all the stuff. Again, I didn't experience that growing up, you know, so a part of Sonya's nurturing, she was like, nah, man.
No, this is a whole nother world, honey.
It's a whole nother world.
Yeah, it was definitely tough for us to get it together.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm so happy that we are where we're at today. We're about to celebrate 9 years of marriage.
9 years.
10 next year. We're trying to figure out what we're going to do for our 10-year anniversary.
Hey, look, we're odds again on this one. I want to do a big 10-year party. She's like, nah, let's just do a destination.
And I so want to just do like a renewal, a 10-year, like a small little renewal on the beach, somewhere far in the Virgin Islands.
I want to turn it all the way up.
But Dupree wants to stay here in the States and just wants to party with his family and friends.
I just want to hear my 05 music. Yeah. I want to hear that.
See? Oh my God. We don't need all that.
Oh, listen, I need all that.
No.
I want to hear that.
See, I feel like we could still do that.
Booyaka.
If we plan in advance and say, listen, family, friends, this is what our plan is. This is where we're going to be. If you can make it, great. If you can't, you know, we'll party when we get back home.
I mean, she did, listen, she pulled up some destinations where I was like, I can do that.
Right.
I can do that by just you and me. But I feel like I want to share that with, like, our family and friends and stuff like that.
Maybe we should put it out for, like, a vote eventually.
Maybe. Oh, that's a good thing. Make sure you down below comment.
What should we do? So I'm thinking we either do everything destination. I mean, we renew our vows and then we party it up. Yeah. Or we do everything here in the States. Like where we party, renew our vows, and then me and you leave for a vacation.
That's what I was saying. Sonya and I, when we got married, right? She was like, I want to do some Spanish music. I want to make sure, you know.
So make sure my people was like able to jam out and have some fun.
Right. So we got my DJ, a friend of mine, and great DJ, right? And I don't even remember that night, but all I remember is all the friends were saying, yo, that was the best DJ because he killed that thing. And I remember our dance, like our first dance, and after that, I don't remember nothing else.
Oh yeah, like the drinks were flowing. We were sitting there listening to speeches and to everyone talking about, you know, our love and marriage and congratulations. And they're like bringing us shots. Like, here. I'm over here like going to the kitchen, dumping mine out because I knew I would have to drive us home that night. There was no way.
Our dance song was Love, right?
Yeah,
by Music Soul Child. Yeah. And then it flipped over.
Changed it.
Then it flipped over to.
Oh, it was so epic because we're like, we danced like the slow song with the typical, and then I told the DJ like cut it off, like pretend your thing started to skip. Yeah. And he did so good.
Yeah,
and we were like, good. What? Oh no! And the family was like,
and then it came in like, I had a hustle, yo.
And then we put that reggaeton on, we were like, what? Everyone started freaking out. I know, it was just crazy. So fun.
I want that experience, but I want to be able to remember that experience this time. Listen, I'm a two drink whore now.
Oh yeah. After like 1 or 2, he's like, oh, I have a headache. I got a migraine.
Right. Oh really? That's how you feel? So I got a week?
After 25, it was like, oh, you're flagged. Go home.
Go home. But
anyway.
All right. Anyway, back on topic now, hon. Come on now.
Keep it going. All right. So we talked about
love at first sight.
Lust.
Or lust at first sight. Right. Mm-hmm. And then we talked about at what point did we fall in love? Right. Right. Mm-hmm. And then we talked about how do we continue to stay in love with each other. Right. Right. Mm-hmm. I think that was definitely key points that I wanted to talk to. I can continue to talk forever, but I know we got a couple things we need to do.
Yeah, we got to cut it short. We do have kids running around upstairs. We need to get to our
kids. But thank you guys for joining us. Make sure again you click that subscribe.
Yep, subscribe, share.
I'm not sure if we're going to put this on a Stuckman cruise vlog.
I think we probably will because we're so up in the air with a name. I think we might as well just get it out there and get feedback.
I kind of want to do a vlog. I mean, a podcast just on its own, but we'll see who wins that battle.
Ladies, please, you know how that goes.
Listen, she listened to Beyonce, the Coachella thing. Now she thinks she's Beyonce.
The Coachella. If you have not seen the film by Beyonce, Homecoming.
Nobody got 2 hours to sit down and watch Beyonce all day, all right?
You will be like dancing in your seat, or you'll be up in the living room like jamming out, stomping with the... It was so good. Please find it on Netflix. This is not an ad or anything or a sponsorship, but it was so good. You need to sit down and watch it.
I just said we was going now. All
right, we're done. I just want to let them know.
She said now she thinks she Beyonce. She upstairs dancing. All in my face with the... Listen, ladies, if you got a man at home, don't be all up in his face with the who run the world. Nobody. We know who run the world. We know who run the world.
Moving right along. So, please catch us on the Stuckman crew. I think that's where we're gonna put it first, and then we'll figure it out. I hope this actually looked decent.
I think so too. I mean, I hope so too. I hope you guys liked it.
I know.
Enjoy.
Bye, guys.